They're afraid you learned you can do better. That's why they haven't come in. Fear of rejection. This is someone who said they'd never give up on you. And suddenly it feels like they give up on you. They feel like they're seeing red flags. Like, they think you lied. They think that you held back information because rose-colored glasses here. They feel like you just weren't honest about who you are. Like you led them on. I keep getting readings about that. Like someone feels like you promised them something or made them feel like there was hope and then you just disappeared. And they don't know what they would have to do. If anything, like they thought they were better. They thought they were the good choice. And they're pretty frustrated. Chose someone else. See, that's why they chose someone else. But they feel connected to you, open invitation. Like they really feel like it's your fault that they chose someone else, and that's what they want you to know. If this is for you, you know who it's about. Please don't make it fit. Not every reading is for everyone. They want you to come in and talk because they only chose somebody else. This is them talking. They only chose someone else because they felt like you had given up or you had brushed them off or that you didn't want to share your life with them somehow, and they thought you did. They still feel a very strong connection, and they wonder why you don't feel it too because they thought you did. They thought there was a much deeper connection here. But you may have seen red flags and left too. I want you. Can't stop thinking about you. Wish I could hold you. Yeah. And this fell on the floor. Don't want to lose you forever. Like, they wonder now if there was miscommunication, error in judgment. They don't know what you're thinking or what you're doing, but they feel like you're just kind of standoffish and weren't open about your feelings. They feel like they could have given you more, like you just weren't open with them. Like, this is a missed connection, and they're really upset about it. Because the person they chose isn't really living up to their expectations. Like, they feel used by this person. But really, why just go get with somebody? You know, this is someone who doesn't want to be alone. Definitely doesn't want to be alone. As soon as they get out of a relationship, they have to find someone to get in a relationship with. A lot of people are like that. So I really don't judge this person. I mean, I'm not like that. A lot of us aren't like that, but a lot of people are. They just don't like being alone. They like having someone around. Someone they can call the significant other. They feel like they had to choose someone, so they chose someone they don't even like that much because they didn't want to be alone. And yeah, I'm sort of getting there blaming you for that. Like, why weren't you just open with me? Why didn't you tell me who you were or trust me or whatever? Like, they feel like you don't trust people. And that's, look, for good reason. I mean, they don't really know everything you've been through, or they're also pretty unrealistic about choosing people. That's weird. You may have seen something and just not wanted to be with them, you know? It's just weird. It's like this person expects you to think like them. They expect you to constantly be out there looking for a relationship like they are. And this person doesn't cheat either. That's why they feel so stuck. That's why they're angry. Because it's not like they want to cheat. They wouldn't really make any gestures toward you until they knew you were single and that you wanted them and they were free and clear of this other relationship. Like, they would completely break up with the person, but you would have to be a sure thing. Ugh. So irritating. But, you know, I hate to say, I think most people are like this. I think most people, you don't have to do anything about this. It's just your intuition, because you may see this person in passing or hear things and be like, why are they treating me so weird? You know, it's because they thought there was a bigger connection here. And when they realized it wasn't, like, they sort of got resentful. They're resentful. They're with someone else. Well, I could have been with that person. It would have been so much better. Really, though? Seriously, when this person gets out of a relationship, it's like this vacuum. Like, they're just out there looking for someone to be with. They're monogamous, though. I really am not getting a cheating vibe. And already I can feel comments saying, they do cheat. Look, this may be not your reading, okay? Or maybe the whole reading isn't for you. Please don't ever make something fit. The energy coming at me right now is this person is not a cheater. You are a lighthouse. Accept what you cannot change. You are beautiful inside and out. Your path is getting clearer. This person cleared your path for someone else. In fact, they did you a favor. If they went and chose someone else, because they didn't feel like you were enough of a sure thing. They did you a favor. Because there's a reason this person bounces between relationships and then gets resentful after the relationship. Like, they're going to resent this person they're with now. They already do. They're in a relationship with them, wishing they can get out of it, but they won't get out of it until they have someone else lined up. And then they blame other people. They just feel like everybody should think like them, or everybody does think like them. They don't understand the concept of not wanting to be in a relationship or just wanting to be by yourself instead of being with the wrong person. They don't understand that concept. They have fallen for the Hallmark movie channel lie. I know it's a normal human thing to want relationships like that, but is it really? Or is that just societal pressure? I think a lot of people also just aren't used to their own company. They feel itchy and antsy when they're alone. They feel like there's something wrong with them. It's more about the approval of someone else. Also very codependent. This person won't let their partner breathe. Even this person they resent, they don't make that known to the other person. And it's usually a bad breakup. Like when they finally hit a brick wall and can't be with the person anymore, it's like, okay, you're getting on my nerves for the last time. It's a bad ending. It ends really badly. And also, people like this, it's not all of them, but I definitely am getting this energy. This person's substance use, like alcohol or anything, goes up when they're in these bad relationships. You may have heard word of that. You may have even seen them at a local bar or something, liquor store, or something else, but really definitely alcohol. If not alcohol, some other substance. But let me go to spill tea real quick. This person cleared your path. They cleared your path. And they would have tried to change you, tried to get you to be someone you're not. This person tends to be the more dominant one in the relationship. The one who wants to make the decisions. Very codependent, very needy. If that's appealing to you, just know what you're getting yourself into. You may have gotten that vibe, and honestly, I feel like those of us who aren't this way are the oddballs, okay? Because I've known too many people who are like this, who just had to be in a relationship. And no, they don't cheat. They might think about cheating, which to me, that's just as bad. They have fantasies of leaving the person they're with, and they could even be living together or married. Waking up every day beside someone they don't even like. But they don't want to be alone, don't want to be alone. It's like if you're to that point where you're thinking about cheating or you're just wishing this person would break up with you or die or something, it's time to get out of it. Get out of it. Yeah, they're afraid that you think you can do better than them. Immediately, this comes out. Oh, wow. Okay. Breaking news. You have heard something about them. If not, you will soon. Like I said, there's a substance issue. If not substance, look, there's something called a dry drunk. If you know what that is, I've been in 12-step meetings before. Dry drunk is basically, there are different terms for it. Some people refer to it as a person. Some people refer to it just as a behavior pattern. But it's where you exhibit the behavior of someone who's drunk or on a bender, even like you still have all the behavior patterns of an alcoholic or a substance user, but you weren't actually using. You might as well have been, though, because you're acting the same way. So anyway, I said that to say there's going to be a revelation that will shift your perspective or confirm your perspective. Shift other people's perspectives about this person. Supportive circle. It says you will encounter people who truly care and support you. Yeah, I'm not getting this person's very supportive. It's like they want to isolate whoever they're with and just make it all for them. And you don't have any other friends. And if you do, you're bad. Okay, let me go on to this real quick. Protective shell. They think you're in a protective shell, keeping secrets, too guarded. They think you're too guarded. Because right now, you're the object of their eye. Like, you're the one they're thinking about when they're with this other person. Wishing they hadn't made that choice. Wishing they had just held out or made their feelings known. They feel like they did something wrong. Or at least that's how they did feel. Now they feel like it was you. What's really going on here is that they are grieving the relationship they're in because it's over for them. Emotionally, it's over, but they can't cheat. They don't believe in cheating. They just believe in, alcohol abuse or something, self-medicating their way through it because they don't want to be in it anymore. Very codependent, and not in a good way, because I don't honestly think codependent is that bad if you're both codependent. Some people, it's just how they are. It's just how they get through life. Happen to have someone they're connected with, always enmeshed with. But like I said, they resent people. They resent the person they're with, and they won't give that person a clue about it. It's like everything's great. They're sending texts all day, every day, obsessed with each other, acting like they're really into it, until they have this other person lined up, which they don't technically consider cheating, but I consider that emotional cheating. Emotional affair or something. Like if you've already been working on this other person to try to get them warmed up for a relationship, so that way when you leave this person, you have someone to go to. You've already cheated. Even if you haven't done anything physical, you've cheated. And that's what's going on. It's like they have a trail of broken hearts behind them. People who thought they were really into them. Like I said, sending the emails and text messages all the way up until the very end when it's like, I don't want you anymore. And suddenly it just turns to crap. Like just a flick of a switch. It's really sad what they do to people, but they go through life thinking everybody's like this. They think everybody's like this. And when the big breakup does happen, they'll say stuff like, well, you should have seen it coming. How? How should you have seen it coming? I actually honestly feel bad for this person they're with, because they led them on. That they were the last one to do that. They were the last one they warmed up to get into a relationship. This person also may have multiple marriages. They might have been married 4, 5, 6 times. Ironically, some of them don't have children. I just got somebody with like a lone wolf mentality who, like if it's a man, had a vasectomy at a young age because they knew they didn't want kids, but they have been married multiple times, even to women who have children. And then the children are left in the wake of all that too. This person, they see themselves as a good person, as a provider. That's it too. A lot of them are providing. Have a good job or come from wealth or something, but they're providing financially until they're not. Until suddenly it's, I know I said I loved you yesterday. I know I was obsessed with you yesterday. Today, you and your kids are out on the street. Oh, nasty. But like I said, they don't see it that way because they don't technically cheat. That's their saving grace, if you want to call it that. That's the thing they brag about. Well, I'm not a cheater. I'm not one of those people. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't get drunk, except they're acting drunk. Dry drunk. You can look that up. They're exhibiting behavior patterns of someone who might as well be drinking or just full-blown drug addict. Honestly. A lot of these people are out there. They like to get their way no matter what. If you get in their way, you're going to hear about it. They always have to get their way. Just know that you were protected from a lot. You Can Do Better came out at the beginning. Red flags everywhere. You can do better. Because this person may have done it to you eventually as well. Because I am getting there was a connection here. Like, you really didn't know this person that well, though. Sometimes there can really be chemistry. And you think it's going to work out and it's going to be great. And that's why people end up stuck in these horrible relationships where, I heard so many times, especially when I was younger, and I really paid attention to like older women when I was younger, when they would tell me stuff. And I knew one lady who was divorced and she was on her second marriage and she said it was great. Like, she was really happy, or at least she was engaged, but she was really happy. It happens to a lot of people. Like, later in life, they do find someone they're more compatible with, because I feel like it's a lot of practice people until they get up to that point. But she told me that with her husband, when she was married, she goes, it was like 98% great, but there was that little 2% that was off, that was wrong. And that was just enough. But if you look at rat poison, it's a teeny tiny little percentage of poison in there, and that's what kills the rat. And this is someone who, if you had gotten together, like, let's say you had gone along with that chemistry, because there's chemistry. It's like, I don't want to say grooming, but people tend to hang on to these terrible relationships because there's some of it that's good. Like the person brings them breakfast in bed, or goes and does this for them, or the person cleans the house. The person does something they bring to the relationship, but there's that little percentage of time where they make them completely miserable. And that outweighs everything else. You can't compromise like that. You can do better. This person would have let you down in the end. I want you to know that. This person is exactly what you thought. I'm just confirming your intuition. This person's exactly what you thought, and you were protected. Just know that. Last card. You age in reverse. This speaks to also any time you spent in these types of relationships or getting to know these types of people, because you might think, I have been with this person before. I have experienced this type of person. Yeah, probably. I think a lot of us have. Where you want it to be good all the time, but it's not. And then they throw up in your face all the stuff, all the great things they think they're doing. And it's not. It's not that great. It wouldn't have been good with them. And if you wasted any time on them, you're getting it back. If you wasted time waiting on them, because that's what I'm getting too, is that some of you wasted time waiting on this person thinking something was going to happen. But then when you wouldn't fully commit, or when they just didn't get a clear approval from you, that's when they moved on. Because I'm serious. This person they will lead someone on until the last second when it's not beneficial for them anymore. And they see nothing wrong with this. They don't even realize they're doing it. Even though people have called them out, they don't realize they're doing it. Also, I'm just getting a spoiled person. Like someone who maybe does come from wealth and they are extremely spoiled. Now, just because someone comes from wealth doesn't mean they're spoiled. Doesn't even mean they have money. Their family might. But there are a lot of wealthy families out there who don't pass it on, or are very strict and cut the person off for some reason, seriously. But no, I'm getting this person is very spoiled by their family and would really annoy you after a while. You were protected and you're getting all your time back. You age in reverse. It is spoken, it is written, and so it is. Amen.